that doesn't change, even with Dr. Yasir Qadi's attempt to cite a few solitary opinions from adherents to that madhab. The official stance of the madhab aligns with Ibn Taymiyyah's stance. As many notable authorities cite him and agree with him. Now, some people try to get creative, when it comes to the statement of Ibn Taymiyyah, which Hanbali scholars cite in agreement, and they try to interpret the statement in a way which makes it sound like Ibn Taymiyyah only believed that those who think their saints are independent of God have committed shirk. And it's that understanding which all those Hanbali scholars are agreeing with. What these people fail to understand is that these Hanbali scholars are not merely relying on one single statement of Ibn Taymiyyah. They have studied everything that he said on the subject, and they are understanding the statement which they relay from him in alignment with everything else which he said on the subject. So it's an act of desperation to isolate the single statement of Ibn Taymiyyah and try to make it seem like it's saying something else. For crying out loud, Ibn Taymiyyah said in explicit terms that the kind of shirk which the Prophet ﷺ fought the polytheists over was rampant among people claiming to be Muslims during his time. What do you think he's talking about? He's not talking about people who intended to worship another god, because if that's what he thought they were saying, he would have declared them apostates. Rather, they were engaged in actions that they didn't think were major shirk, yet in reality were. And that's why Ibn Taymiyyah excused them for their ignorance, despite deeming their actions, to constitute major shirk. Ibn Taymiyyah would not have excused them if he thought that they were saying that their saints are independent of God. He wouldn't. He would have obviously declared them. He wouldn't make takfir of them individually. Dr. Yasir Qadi, said, read Ibn Taymiyyah's statements in Iqtidat Sirat al-Mustaqim. Okay, fine. What Ibn Taymiyyah said in Iqtidat doesn't change a thing. What we just need to make sure that we distinguish between what Ibn Taymiyyah considered to be minor shirk, namely calling out to the dead near their graves while asking them to make dua for you on your behalf, versus what he did not consider to be minor shirk, but rather major shirk, which is asking the dead themselves to help you, calling them from far away and whatnot. So we need to look at everything that he said. And you also have